Dai Jiao Hao. Welcome back. Today's video, we're going to be walking the French Quarter during the daytime, checking out the sights to see what we might want to do later in the day. So without further ado, let's get started.
How long it takes to walk?
Good morning, guys. We just left our hotel, the Roosevelt. It's just off of Canal Street, which is one end of the starting point of the French Quarter. It's one of the more popular roads besides the world famous Bourbon Street. Time and temperature check. It's actually 1 hour behind that, so it is 8:45 in the morning. It's about 75 degrees. And we're going to check out what the city looks like when it's first waking up. Got a Ritz-Carlton hotel here in the center. Yeah, a lot of the architecture in this area is quite old. I was told the city recently celebrated its 300-year anniversary, making it one of the older cities in America. Don't quote me on all these facts. These are just things I picked up in the last 24 hours being here in New Orleans. Canal Street runs east and west, Bourbon runs north and south. If you continue going to the east, you'll make it to the river, and that river is the world famous Mississippi River. Some dedication to milestones for the street. Let's keep walking, guys. If you haven't checked out Bourbon Street at night, check that other video. I'll leave a link above or below. It's quite a contrast to the city as it's waking up during the day. I am told there are two, basically, French Quarters. The daytime, more friendly shopping, sightseeing, and then starting approximately 4 p.m., it turns into the nighttime party city that most people are familiar with. Got one of the famous streetcars that run around downtown New Orleans. We will try to check one of these out and go for a ride later in the day. Right now we're crossing over, recreating our walk from last night through Bourbon Street. Which is quite quiet compared to last night. Those are the famous balconies up top where people hang out and toss beads to the passerbys below. Maybe there's an incentive for the girls to flash themselves to get more beads, but hey, I didn't see any of that last night. Architecture is absolutely beautiful down here. I believe most of these residential looking buildings are Airbnbs or hotels or boutiques of that sort, but I do believe there are people that may live here full time. It might be a little noisy, but you're definitely in the center of activity here. Looks like we can get Manette's here, Cafe Manette, at the musical courtyard. It's called Legends Park. Let's keep walking, guys. We stay at Royal Sonesta, New Orleans. In a nutshell, guys, this place spends all night partying, all morning getting ready to party again all night. There is some garbage, but they're managing to do a good job starting to get it cleaned up. And apparently they do this 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Party, clean, party, clean, party, clean. Well, I guess this is as far as the cleaning's got. They got a lot more work to do down on this end of Bourbon Street. Wow, look at the mess. It's amazing how much garbage the partiers can produce. We're going to bypass that. They're still heavily cleaning that. We're going to work our way up back towards Canal Street. Want some pizza? Open 24 hours, beer and wine. Antone's, this is a world famous restaurant since 1840. They're starting early, getting it prepared for today's tourist crowd. The Royal House Oyster Bar features balcony dining, which is pretty neat. That's pretty cool. This is Royal Street here. There's a lot of famous places along here as well. It doesn't get nearly as crowded and as much attention as Bourbon Street, but it is definitely well known for more of its shops and restaurants along here. One of the most famous being right up the way. Two sister cousins. I believe it's right up there. We walked by it last night. Welcome Center.
I wasn't paying attention when I was looking at something else.
The Court of Two Sisters. We already have a crowd waiting to enjoy this fabulously well-known restaurant since 1832. This place has been established as well known to get your high-quality local cuisine. I'm told it is a must-stop, but unfortunately I don't have time to stop. So let's keep walking, guys. Fine art and antiques since 1912. A lot of long time history, long time businesses. And I'm told some of these businesses are still run by the original families. That's amazing. And other than being on Royal Street, I don't really know where I'm at. I do know this weekend's a big college opener between LSU and FSU, so a lot of extra people in this weekend. Pat O'Brien's. We were looking at it for last night, but we missed it. Whew, still a mess around here, guys. We're not going too far down. All right, so this nondescript building right here is Pat O'Brien's. It is super famous for the drink known as the Hurricane. We'll try to find it here tonight, but this is also another must-stop location, I'm told. So don't miss it, guys. The Herb Dispensary. Let's continue working down Royal. Got a big church right here. We're on the back side of it. Hear the bells. Street vendors out already this morning. Check out all the cool balconies. Excuse me, guys. Vampire Cafe. Wow, look at this. Single family home. Here's another one. Wouldn't expect to see that. Most of these would be considered in a modern take a multi-mixed aspect. Businesses on the bottom, residential on the top. It looks like they've been doing mixed use for hundreds of years down here. Also, when driving, during the day, all the roads open up eventually. It's all one-way streets, so it can be a little confusing to get around. And then come like, I don't know, around 4 o'clock or so, they'll start blocking the main passages like Bourbon Street, reducing it to pedestrian traffic only. A couple more side streets. We have no idea where we're headed, but let's walk anyways. Beautiful home, hotel. Andrew Jackson Hotel. Any relation to the president? Let's see, we got a plaque. This was the site of the first U.S. District Court, 1792. Here in 1815, after the Battle of New Orleans, General Andrew Jackson was fined $1,000 for contempt of court. Original building was demolished in 1888, and this is the present building since. Pretty cool, guys. There is definitely a lot of history here. There's a lot of organized tourist walking trips, and nearly anything you can need to do or find, there's somebody catering to the visitor. My fans know I'm just out for a little exercise and exploring the city, and I like to take you guys along with me. Hope you enjoy. If you do, hit that subscribe button. If you're not subscribed already, leave us those comments, those thumbs ups, those likes. YouTube likes that crap, makes the channel grow, so I appreciate it as well. All right, guys, we're definitely heading down. Let's kind of work our back way over to Bourbon and see what it's like at this point in the morning. All right, we're back on the Bourbon. This end looks to be been cleaned up a great deal. We're down on St. Philip's. That's towards the east end. I'll try to leave some coordinates and links, that kind of crap, in the description below. Let's kind of continue walking. I believe it's east towards the Mississippi. This end looks to be on the more residential scope of things. Not seeing any real bars and shops like we did on the other end of Bourbon. Maybe this is more local oriented residents, not tourist, but I'm sure there's some. These buildings here, these are cool little, I call them houses of some sort. They all look like they're single family homes to a certain degree because they are separated and they have different addresses here, but the woodworking, it's absolutely beautiful. See, we get a little better shot. They're all around here. Look at those. We'll continue heading east here on Bourbon. Nice house. Again, what I call a traditional New Orleans home. Though I have no idea what traditional is, but the sights I've always seen in movies and TV shows. And it's always featured on us YouTube videos. We're coming up on 20 minutes of walking, guys. Actually, about 25 minutes. And we gotta make a decision. Do we wander these streets here a little bit? Or we work our way back to like the main tourist area? Down Canal Street. Let's stay in this back residential area. This is a little bit off the beaten path of the tourist Bourbon Street, Mardi Gras area, what people consider the French Quarter. But I'll bet you these locals consider this the real French Quarter. This off the beaten path, this more residential looking part of the community of the French Quarter. Another nice old house. It's just teeming of architecture and history. It's absolutely beautiful, guys. It's a French word. I want to call it Dalpine. I may or may not be pronouncing that right. I know this street's pretty well known up in the tourist section as well. We'll work our way back, maybe up this street. Let's take a look. Let's head down. All right, let's just go ahead and go up back this way. We're should be heading west. Doesn't look like many partiers come through here. There's virtually spotless, and it doesn't look like they've had to come through and clean or wash this part of the streets like they do where the party section of Bourbon Street, etc. So it's nice back here. Bet you these are expensive. That's my realtor and me. Maybe we'll get a chance to do a little looky-loo on pricing. We're crossing over Ursula on Dauphine. We're going to continue heading west, guys. Wandering here with the locals. This property's for lease. Don't know if it's a unit within a unit or the entire property that we see. Notice how high? This is the floor down here. The floor level's here, so you have this whole crawl space, and then you gotta work your way up. So a lot of these homes are elevated 2.5 feet off the ground. Wow. Now we're crossing over St. Philip. Continuing to head west. A lot of these crawl spaces still even have ornate vents. That's pretty cool. This is a whole compound. Look at this. Now this could be a duplex, one unit on each side. This could be like coach homes, 4 units. I really don't know enough to know what's allowed for conversion, and these are pretty deep. There could be even more units in the back. All right, guys, we're continuing west. We're now approaching Domain Street. There we are. Waking and baking.
Anyway.
Gotta love the balconies. If I was going to live in this city, you have to be back here in this residential section so you can get in and out. There's another area that's up and coming called the Warehouse District. That's, I believe, a little bit north and west of here, but I can't swear to it unless I look at a map. Looks like Armstrong Park, I've read about that, is down that way. Good Friends Bar, already open, 9:15 in the morning. There you go, guys, 9:15 in the morning, open and ready. These are cool. This building caught my eye. Nice looking building. Sorry, guys. We just now crossing. We don't have a name. Some of the streets just don't, I don't know, people just steal the signs. It's a little history lesson. All right, well, New Orleans was the capital of the Spanish province. This street was Camino de Beñonia. I know I butchered that, but that's pretty cool tidbit, guys. Let's keep walking. If you guys stuck with me this long, I appreciate it. Give it a thumbs up if you like the video. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about New Orleans and if you've ever been here. There's some markings of the roads as well. St. Peter, we are now crossing St. Peter. Let's see. By the looks of things on Bourbon there, we've gotten back into the Reveler section, but we're on Daphne Street. This would be the south end, or the south side of the French Quarter, which continues a few more blocks to the south as well. Got a property here with a pool, so somewhere there's a pool on that property. Looks like 617 can be all yours. Good morning. Have we gotten closer back to the party part of Bourbon Street, one block over? We're starting to see a few more shops and businesses mixing in with the local residential. Kind of a clue that you're back down in the party section of town. I think everything is the hip part of town That's where we just came from. This is the party part of the town right up through here. Let's continue. We just crossed over Toulouse. We are continuing to head west, I believe. If not, I'm gonna have a lot of corrections. So this end of Bourbon, which would be the west end, it seems to be where the most of the party life of what people think of New Orleans and Bourbon Street. And then one road to the north would be Royal. So you got a lot of secondary businesses, art boutiques and things that appeared, which is pretty nice. And now we're heading on the south side as we cross St. Louis, up Daphne, working our way back. So these 3 blocks are probably the most happening if you're here just visiting and enjoying what most people consider their French Quarter. This is where you want to be. If you want to spend some time in the hip part of the French Quarter, there are some other very nice tourist places sprinkled within. That you stay away from these blocks. Stay towards the south and east end in kind of the middle section that's south of Daphne. I think that'll be the local coolest area. Ghost tours, food tours, pub crawls. A lot of tourist activities, guys. Looks like they have some type of bike rental program. Louisiana Blue Bikes. Conti Street. As you get into those buildings, I believe you're going to cross out of the French Quarter into another court or ward. We have those types of names here. All right, we're going to continue up Daphne. For you exercisers out there walking with me, we're at approximately the 40-minute mark, maybe a little less. Keep up the walk. You guys enjoying the streets of New Orleans French Quarter. Thanks for hanging with us. Chateau Moyne looks to be pretty happening. Really nice one on the block here. Bienville, Bienville. We look to be crossing. I technically don't know where I'm at, but I believe I need to go that way. I think I need to go to the north at some point, but let's go up a little bit farther before we loop back towards the hotel in Canal Street, or loop back to Canal Street looking for the hotel. Buildings have gotten much bigger, more of a business industrial. Some of these may be new projects to look old. Some of these may be originals. I really don't know. Well, I must be totally confused in which direction I'm going because I am walking right towards Canal Street, which I thought was that way. Well, anyways, it was still a great walk. We have the Hyatt here. Now their valet parking overnight is $42. Parking's very expensive down here. Our overnight at our hotel at the Roosevelt is $51. I do know where I'm at. I'm not on the road I expected to be on or going in the direction I expected because now I believe I'm heading north this whole time when I thought I was heading west. Because that's the Ritz-Carlton that we see when we started. And that's that cool looking Walgreens on the opposite corner. So when we get down here, we hang a right. You know where I messed up? Bourbon Street actually runs this direction, which I believe is north and south. That's why. One street to the north, one street to the south. Excuse me. So if it runs north and south, so these streets, Dupree is one block to the north, to the east of Bourbon Street, and Royal is one block to the west. Let's continue up this side. Take a look at the Here comes the famous streetcars, cemeteries and canal. All right, guys, that wraps up the tour of the French Quarter from the tourist section into some of the residential area. I hope you enjoyed. Till next time, 大家再见.